My name's Steve Gable. I'm an MRM ambassador, professional mixed martial artist, and the 2014 No-Gi Black Belt Masters World Champion. 3 weeks ago, I had a microdiscectomy. That's a back surgery where they make a 1-inch incision and clean out a ruptured disc. I realized right away there was something different about this, and I got an MRI, and then I went to one of the top neurologists in San Diego right away. I met him at about 11:15 in the morning on May 14th, and by 6 p.m. that night he had me in for urgent surgery to help prevent permanent nerve damage. They had what's called a nerve monitor during my microdiscectomy, and there was zero activity to the nerve when he started the procedure. By the end, I had full activity to the nerve. I still have issues on the right side of my leg. There's still muscle soreness in the upper glute or piriformis, as well as a little bit of numbness and tingling running down my leg, but it's minimal compared to what it used to be. Following the rehabilitation protocol, the only thing I did for the first 7 to 10 days was walking. The walks were therapeutic, not only physically, but emotionally as well. You know, going from a top-tier elite athlete to being completely crippled and immobilized was a very difficult thing for me to go through. I had a lot of introspective thought on the walks. I could feel little by little every step. I was getting better. I tried to surround myself in a beautiful environment to try to keep those images in my head. But at the end of the day, it was still really tough. After about 10 days, I started the basic physical therapy protocol, which is on my hands and knees, raising one arm, one leg, working some plank exercises, a variety of mobility drills just to keep the rest of the body loosened up, such as your shoulders, your neck. I was able to stretch my calves, my quads, but staying away from the erector spinae or the lower back. They don't want you to do what's called the BLTs, no bending, lifting, or twisting for 6 weeks. You gotta think of that as any type of wound that needs to heal. So I needed to immobilize that area, but keep the rest of my body flexible and mobile. There's no reason for your entire body to, go to hell just because you're letting your lower back heal. Over the last week, I've been able to do a little bit more advanced core exercises, some push-ups, some pull-ups, but I'm doing everything with very strict posture and really keeping that back nice and straight. The most uncomfortable position for me since the surgery has been sitting. That's why when I do sit, I try to use a Bosu ball or some type of Swiss ball that has a little bit of a cushion to it. Lying down on my back with an ice pack for the inflammation is key, and or walking, being upright. I've been off painkillers since 3 days after the surgery. The reason behind that, which was taught to me from athletes coming off this surgery, is as you rehab, you want to be able to feel everything. You want to be able to feel what's right and what's wrong at the time, not have a painkiller and you do something and then pay for it later. So I want to thank Melanie Roach. She was a 2008 Olympian in weightlifting, as well as Nathan the Rock Curry. Both of these athletes had back surgeries and they both helped me out a lot. Neither one of them knew me prior to the surgery. I reached out to them, they both responded. They were really, really helpful and instrumental in the right supplements and doing the right exercises, and I'm very grateful to two strangers who had a back surgery in common with me and really helped me progress. And then MRM, man, they've just been incredible to me. They've been providing all my supplements to make sure that I have a very efficient recovery, making sure I'm healthy, making sure my body's repairing itself. I know I have a long road ahead of me. I'm gonna be smart about this. There's no reason to try to get back into fighting too soon, if ever. And jiu-jitsu, we're looking at a minimum of 6 months. And I really want to do the physical therapy and rehabilitation aspects properly, and we'll just see what happens, and we're gonna go from here. So I'm 5 weeks post-op, back surgery, and I'm using the pool right now as therapy. I'm able to swim laps, a variety of strokes to kind of engage my core without any impact on my body. Long before I ever got into jiu-jitsu, I was a swimmer, and didn't have the same success in swimming that I found in jiu-jitsu.
but I've always enjoyed the water, and once the scar healed up, I asked my doctor, I said, I gotta get in there and start rehabbing, and I got cleared, and I've been swimming now for about 2 weeks. Today is gonna be the first time I try the butterfly stroke, and it engages a lot of core and back. A lot of people are like, man, you're coming along so fast, you know, or you know, you're doing things that you're not necessarily supposed to be doing this soon, and you know, it's only because you were a pro fighter or you're a jiu-jitsu world champion that you're able to do these things. And you know, I think back to how I was when I was younger, and my determination and my motivation to be healthy, my ambition, that's been inside of me my whole life. It's not that I was that and now I'm able to do this. I'm getting back to where I am. I'm recovering. I'm doing it in an extremely methodical manner, but I am, you know, past protocol in a lot of ways, and all of that is due to what's inside of me and what's inside of so many other people that are determined and motivated to accomplish their goals.
I think the most important aspect of recovery is your mindset. It's not about, I got to get back to MMA, or I got to be able to do jiu-jitsu again, or whatever your chosen sport is, or anything like that. It's about the baby steps that are needed each day to make yourself a little bit better, to be healthier each day. For me, my nutrition was always on point. I ate really clean, really healthy, small meals. I was taking my nutritional supplements from the get-go. And my goal was to maintain a high level of health, the best that I could through the process. If I was thinking about, I gotta get back into the cage, or I gotta go be a jiu-jitsu world champion next year, that could set me back. That could re-herniate a disc. You know, the mindset's been the most important thing for me, and all the other stuff is gonna come later with that mindset. My goal is to walk a little further that day, to do an extra pull-up the next day, to be able to not have any bit of pain when I drive or go for a walk or anything, and being healthy, feeling good, and trying to keep myself emotionally and physically in a good place each day. And in the end, that's what's gonna get me back to being a competitor. Heading in for my treatment with the hypobaric chamber. I'm about 6 weeks post-op right now, and I'm utilizing everything I possibly can to recover to be 100%. Take my time getting out of here. I was just breathing pure oxygen for an hour, and I feel so awesome right now. Man, what a cool feeling. It's almost like a natural high. And from my understanding, that oxygen-rich blood, along with the pressure, is kind of what accelerates the healing process. They say the beginning is the hardest, so we've been working now. I started my rehab about 3 weeks. Is when I started my rehabilitation physical therapy exercises post-op, and now we're at 7 weeks, and look how far we've come. I'm excited to see what the next few months are gonna bring. I mean, the goal of this is to get back to where I was, to be healthy, to feel good, to be able to do jiu-jitsu and spar and just live an active, healthy lifestyle. And body's definitely responding a lot better than it used to. Have a lot more movement, but there's still some significant limitations as far as my strength and my flexibility. I still have some residual nerve pain going down that right side. I can't touch past my knees right now, but you know, like anything,
My approach to this is every day. I'm just trying to get better. I want to change the public's perception of back surgery and surgery in general. As athletes, we have a higher success rate than most individuals coming back from surgery because of our intensity and our dedication. We actually also run the risk of re-injuring ourselves because of that. So I've taken a very systematic and methodical approach to my recovery, and I have every intention on being a success story.